So first, let's talk about the nature of an information marketing business. And we're always going to start from this perspective. The best and most profitable customer is the one that you already have. And so you want to get good at marketing to your existing customers. Now, if you're trying to get new customers all the time, certainly you've got to get good at getting people to come into your doors. But when you get a customer, you are going to maximize your profits by understanding how to make sure that those customers become the people that you serve continually. We are always looking for ways to be their supplier for life. And so we're looking to have customers for life so that when someone comes in, they buy from us. We want to make sure that they stay with us as long as they have a need for what it is that we have to offer. And so we're looking to always serve their best interest over time. And so we're going to be creating these online artifacts consistently. So when Microsoft gives us these tools, we're going to be using them consistently over time to give people the information in the way that's going to be the most palatable for them in the way they want to get it. And again, Microsoft 365 gives us the tools in order to do that. And we want to do those in the way that they're always going to be a consistent help to our customer, whether they're going to be our customer for one product, or they're going to be our customer as part of a membership, or they're going to be our customer in a coaching scenario. We want to make sure that we deliver the artifacts in a way that's going to help them in what it is our particular sphere or market or niche or expertise is. We always want to do that in a way that's going to be unique to us. So that's what we're first and foremost trying to do. We're looking to use the artifacts, and we're always trying to style them in a way that says that we are unique in the marketplace. It says that you've got to come back to us if you want to get it the way we do it. We are always trying to separate ourselves from the marketplace, not just in look and appearance, but also in what it is we do and the way it is that we do it. And so we don't always want to do that just by giving stuff away. So yes, we want to make sure that, we use our documents. We want to make sure that we're giving away our information in a way that's going to get people to come in the door, but we don't want to just give it away so that everything that we do is free. That's not the idea. And we don't want to be the lowest price supplier of anything. We don't want to compete on the basis of price. And so the more that we emphasize what it is that makes us unique, the more that we emphasize what it is that people cannot get elsewhere, the less we have to compete on the basis of price, and the more that we provide more value that we can actually charge for. And that's really what we're trying to do with our documentation. That's what we're trying to do with our artifacts. We're trying to communicate uniqueness, but we're also trying to communicate unique value that people can only get from us. And so we're going to have to always do that in a way that helps people to get to what it is they're trying to get to, whether they want to avoid something, right, that's painful, or they're trying to get to something that's going to make them more successful. In this case, we're not just talking about information. We could be inspiring people. We can be entertaining them. We are basically trying to help people to get something from a creation from our mind that will help them in some way to avoid some kind of pain or to embrace some kind of happiness or some kind of goal. And so basically, when we do this, we've always got to make sure that everything that will help them to get these things is readily available. So that's another thing that we do with what it is that we create with these tools. We want to make sure that there's always going to be something that is in our sphere of influence that will give people an area or give them something that we know that they want. People call this upsell or cross-sell. It's always available. So we want to make sure that we have multiple things available at multiple levels, at multiple price points. And again, this is what we're able to do with the tools if we use them successfully. And so we will always make sure that we have the things available to them, easily findable by them, that we think will help them. That's the nature of an information marketing business. Yes, one, we're communicating unique value. Secondly, we're making sure that every need that they have, every desire that they have, that we can fulfill is readily and easily available. We do this by staying in contact with them. Again, we're talking about our existing customer base. We make sure that we stay in contact with them. We make sure that we can easily reach them. We make sure that we are in contact with them on a regular basis. And we're doing that primarily using email. And so when we do this, No, we're not depending on social media, even though social media is a way of being able to do it. But we focus and we make sure that we can reach them apart from social media. Again, we don't really have a lot of control over social media, and it changes. We want to make sure that we can reach our customer consistently with our message and with what it is that we have. So if you're going to use social media in terms of building a contact database, that should always be extra to you. You should always have that way of being able to access your customer and communicate with them. Typically, that's going to be by email. So how do you build that contact database? Well, we can find partners. That's one of the ways that we get to build the list of people that will be concerned or looking for the things that we have is if we're starting from nothing, we partner up with people. Sometimes that means developing an affiliate relationship where we're selling the products of other people. Sometimes that means we joint venture with people. So in other words, where someone's got one piece of the puzzle, we've got another piece of the puzzle, we put our heads together, we put our resources together, we go to the market together, and we get the benefit of everything that we bring together. What that does is sometimes if someone already has a customer base, but they don't have the ability to bring something to the market and you have that ability, you get the benefit of getting access to that customer base almost by default. So joint venturing can be a valuable way of building that customer list or a database. Sometimes it means just doing what we call a show. Maybe you're going to do an interview show. Maybe you're going to do a podcast. Maybe you're going to do some kind of virtual summit. Basically, it's a way of you getting involved with other people, and you're basically doing this in a way so that you're giving them something. So you're expanding your reach by expanding their income opportunity. So that's what you're trading. They're giving you access to their audience. You're giving them access to another income opportunity. You're making it easy for them. You do that by doing shows or podcasts or video shows, and you can do that by doing virtual summits. Either way, all you're really doing is you are leveraging the relationships that you have, and you're doing that in a partner or collaborative way. And this is a way in which we build out our customer lists. Yes, when you do that, it's basically a residual. So, you're not always going to get all of the revenue when you do things like that. You're not always going to get let's say the biggest benefit, the biggest bump is always going to be to the person that's already got the audience. You're going to get a bit of a residual. But when you're just getting started, that residual starts to snowball the more that you do it. And so if you can be consistent about doing some of these things, basically what's going to happen over time is your list of customer base is going to start to grow. And that's what you want to do in any information marketing business. And really, you need to be doing this if you are a veteran. You should be doing this whether or not you are just getting started or not. This is the way you build and grow a customer base that does not depend on other people. So how are you going to monetize this? Well, you can monetize this by coaching. You can, kind of train the people that are coming to you. But really the most efficient way is not going to be to coach people one-on-one or even sometimes in a group. The most efficient way is always going to be to create a unit of information, which is an information product. And basically, when you do that, you're going to be creating some kind of online course or an ebook or an audio product because someone can come and access a piece of your expertise anytime they want you without you having to be there. So you're giving a piece of yourself, you're showing people what it is that you have to offer, and you're giving it to them, and they're trading it, right? They're actually paying you. You are doing this in a way that you are basically taking something out of your brain and your person and giving it to the people that actually need it. And you're making it available to people in some kind of format. So you're going to actually sell this. And typically you're going to use direct response principles. In classic direct response, you're aware of it. You're going to need a sales page. You're going to have some kind of headline. You're going to elicit some kind of empathy. You're going to have testimonials. Basically, it's a classic sales presentation, right? This is what you're going to be doing. And so when you do this, this is the fundamental, right? These are the fundamentals of information marketing. These are the things that you are bringing in to sell those artifacts that you're creating. So you're not just creating artifacts for the sake of creating them. You're actually selling them, and you're doing this with some fundamentals which we have just explained. We've talked about making sure that you're unique in the marketplace, having a USP. We've talked about making sure that you're making everything available, upselling and cross-selling. We've talked about making sure that you are building a list, a contact database. We're making sure that you're partnering. and affiliating. We're also talking about making sure that you're doing educational marketing and creating information products. And we're also talking about selling them in a context. These are the information marketing basics. Again, these are the things you're going to be using as a context for bringing Microsoft 365 into the everyday part of your business. And so how do you create those artifacts? So we want to start talking about this. And so we want to create these information products to achieve your marketing aims. So how do we use Microsoft 365 to create these information products? It really doesn't matter what you're selling. You're going to be creating these information products to enhance your USP to the marketplace, right? You're going to use these information products as upsells and cross-sells. So in other words, maybe somebody is buying something physical from you, or maybe they're buying an information product. We can always create something else, and we can upsell them by giving them more value. And sometimes all we're really giving people is that additional video course. It doesn't matter, again, what you're selling on the front end. You are giving people an additional value, and you're giving yourself another revenue opportunity. You can use your information products as a way to build your list. So you don't have to give away all the value, all your knowledge. You can actually monetize that knowledge and that value. Again, all you're saying to people is, hey, I know how to do this. I can help you. And you're actually going to give them the opportunity to make a purchase from you. You don't just have to give away everything. You want to make sure that you give people the opportunity to participate with you so that you can help them more. You can use information products as a way to partner and collaborate. So again, it's an easy way of being able to bring someone else in on something that you're doing when you're creating information products. You can monetize your educational marketing. So if you're training people on a regular basis, it's a natural assumption. It's a natural way of moving from that training into actually giving them an opportunity to buy something from you by selling them an information product. You can use these information products as an easy way to emphasize scarcity and urgency in direct response. So in other words, you can say to people, well, if you buy by midnight, you're going to get access to this online course also. Or there are only 5 of these items left with the information product if you buy now. Again, so one of those direct response elements that we can emphasize, scarcity and urgency, is just 2. We can use our information products in order to build out those elements of direct response. So how are we going to do this, right? Microsoft actually gives us an opportunity to do that with what it calls Microsoft Clipchamp. And that is what we are going to be using. We're going to be using these functions. We're going to be using these features in order to create better audio and video by creating these information products. You're going to start by using PowerPoint. It's going to be the most important element. Again, you will probably use Microsoft Word to create an ebook, but I'm talking about creating basically a video information product. You're probably going to use PowerPoint. You're going to make sure that your outline is done just as you're watching here. You can put that information into sections using PowerPoint. You're going to write that information out into sections. You are then going to record and turn that information into MP4 videos. You can do that in PowerPoint. So everything you need in order to create an information product, you can probably do within PowerPoint. You can do everything from outlining all the way to making the recording within PowerPoint. And if this is something that's new to you, you should use Presentation Coach. And you're going to determine how you want it to sound. You're going to determine how you want this actually to be for your customer. All these things exist within PowerPoint. And of course, you can use the designer to craft the appearance within PowerPoint. And one of the benefits of using Microsoft 365 is that you can actually share that presentation with a partner, and you can collaborate with them in order to work on the actual presentation. Now, one of the real powerful benefits of the new Microsoft 365 is using Microsoft Clipchamp. And Microsoft Clipchamp is a powerful video application that, yes, it does work in the cloud, but it does a lot or just about as much as something like Camtasia Studio does in terms of the basics. And so it's an important element to this free application. It's a video creator. So it's a video creator and it's a video editor. So you can create vertical videos, you can create conventional style videos, which are landscape videos. You can create both of them using Microsoft Clipchamp. And again, yes, it does operate in the cloud. There is a desktop version, but you can use these things so that they, again, function as your video creator. So it can be an audio creator. It's a great way of creating these multimedia assets. You can use the Clipchamp's video editor for most, if not all, of the functions that you're going to need. We're going to see this here in a minute. And you can add in overlays with Microsoft Clipchamp. You can add in transitions. So think about what you would do in terms of creating a video for your customer, in terms of creating a video for an online course. Everything that you need in order to do that, you have within Microsoft Clipchamp. And again, we're going to see that here in a minute. So if you want to think about creating a video product, you're not going to need an expensive tool. You can do just about everything you're going to need to do within Microsoft Clipchamp. So let's take a look at Microsoft Clipchamp. You already have access to Microsoft 365, whether you have a paid subscription or whether you just have the free version. And you'll find Microsoft Clipchamp on your dashboard. You're going to see all the other applications. You can see Word, you can see Excel, PowerPoint, all the other Microsoft applications that are going to be available to you. You will have a limited amount of space if you tend to use a free application, but even if you don't and you have a regular subscription, you're going to have access to this particular element that's going to be on your dashboard. And it's going to be connected to your Microsoft account. So you will need to have some kind of Microsoft account in order to access this, and you can access it directly from your Microsoft 365 dashboard. So it will be connected to your account. And typically, when you log in, they're going to want to know that you're old enough to use it. They're going to want to know that based on the laws in your country, they're going to want to know what language you're going to use. So this is going to be a requirement typically when you log in. And this is probably just something that you're just going to want to make sure that it's accurate. I don't know that they're going to limit you in some way based on your country, but basically, I think this is something that they just want to know who you are and where you're from, just in case there are going to be some laws that might require them to do something different with the interface. Now, the whole thing, just as it does in Microsoft 365, it works on templates. And so you can start working with Clipchamp with templates. And you can see there, so you've got intro and outro templates, Instagram templates, YouTube. So just about anything that you're going to need in order to start creating video, Microsoft Clipchamp will give you. And you look at some of the intro and outro templates that you have there. So all these templates are going to be available to you inside, just as you see them here on your screen. And you want to use the templates. So anyone that you want to create a specific video, you're just going to click it and you're going to have access to it. You're then going to click in and use that particular template. So Microsoft will tell you what kind of template it is. It's going to tell you what it's going to look like. For example, this one is clearly going to be a landscape template that we can use. And when we decide to use the template, we're going to pull it into our timeline. Right? So when we pull the template into our timeline, this starts to look like any other video editor. And you're going to see that you've got all of the elements. They're going to be in your timeline that you can start to then edit them in a way that will be consistent with what it is that you're going to be doing in your video. So again, Microsoft Clipchamp gives you an interface, and this interface is in the cloud. So you can then use this exactly as it is in order to create what it is you want to create from the actual template. And then, of course, they also give you elements to record your content. So as you can see here, what we can do is we can do a screen share. We can actually do a screen share and our camera, or we can do just the screen. There's also a text-to-speech element. So again, just about every element of being able to create a specific video, Microsoft Clipchamp actually gives you in order to create what it is you want to create. So these elements, you want to be able to use them just as you would any other video creator, again, with this being a free application. They will allow you to upload your existing media into Microsoft Clipchamp. And so you're going to see that there is an element at the very top where you can import media. This means that you can bring in images. That means you can bring in your videos. And you can work with those videos inside of the application. All you've got to do is once you get that media in there is you add it to the timeline. So you're going to see here that we've imported a video here. And you see that there's going to be a little green button there. We hover over that button and we click that button. It makes it available so that all you got to do is then click it in order to add it to our timeline so we can start to work with it. Once again, these are going to be elements that you may be familiar with if you've ever worked with a video editor of any kind. you're going to need to pull what it is you're doing down to the timeline. Once the media is on the timeline, one of the interesting things is we actually imported a video into the timeline. And one of the things you're going to see here is that you can detach the audio. So let's say that you have a video that you want to work with, and it's an existing video. That video is going to be in the timeline inside of Microsoft Clipchamp. We can strip out the audio. All you got to do then is we've got to detach the audio. We detach the audio, and then once we do that, the audio file is then going to be separated. So again, this is a very useful feature. One of the features you might find inside of Camtasia Studio is actually here inside of Clipchamp. We can detach the audio, and one of the things that it does is it'll take that audio and make it available to you by download, so that we would then download that audio to a hard drive. We can then delete the audio from our timeline so we can begin to continue work with the video. One of the real benefits of being able to work with Clipchamp is we can actually use the caption feature. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the top right there. You notice that we've got our video, and we can then click in the area. We can turn on auto captions. We can click on our auto captions. And this is a very, very useful feature. We can capture in the right language. So Clipchamp is going to ask you what language you want to caption in. And so all this does is it really helps Clipchamp to recognize what the language is. So what this doesn't mean, it doesn't translate for you. It means then it's going to look for the language that's in the video so that it knows then how to create a transcript for you. And then basically it's going to generate a caption, which is basically going to be like a transcription. And you're going to see here that it goes through a process. If you look off to your right-hand side, you'll notice here it says it's generating captions. It does take a little time in order to do that. You're then going to have some options, right? We can make sure that the captions are going to be hidden when we reproduce the video. And we can also download the SRT file. What that does is when we get that SRT file, we produce the video, we're going to be able to take that SRT file, we're going to be able to upload that into those places where we're going to upload the video. We're going to have those captions available when we process the video. And then we have a transcript. And you can see that to the right-hand side. You can also see it here on the timeline. So basically, we have it time-stamped. This is what the SRT file is going to look like. And so we then have a transcript that we can then use for any other purpose. So we can then upload this directly to any video element where we're going to be hosting our video that allows us to have the SRT file. We can download that SRT file to our hard drive. We're just going to click that button. That's going to give us access to our SRT file, and we're going to be able to just add it to our download area. And we're going to be able to download, and then we're going to be able to speed up the process also when we're editing. And so this is going to be a handy feature again inside of Microsoft Clipchamp. You will then be able to change the speed of the video. So if editing is something that takes a little bit of time in order for you to do, you can speed up that process by going to Clipchamp and making that video available. So in conclusion, one of the most powerful elements in Microsoft 365 is the video creator. We can use Clipchamp to create content, right? Any content we need for our business. We want to make sure that we understand the basics of the application. And then we move on to the more complex. So understanding the basics of how to use Microsoft Clipchamp, you can actually grow with this application. So again, I'm sure that Microsoft will continue to make updates and they will continue to grow the application. So this is a good one in order to learn how to use if you don't want to invest necessarily into a specific application. This application is free and will work for you. And so the best thing is always going to be to get started using it. And so to get into Clipchamp and to begin working with your videos. Okay, are there any questions? Any questions?